Hello and welcome to another episode of Found It, Fetched It. This week we're going to be talking about when the seasons change, so do we. I'm Jo Parrott and today we're talking about something that quietly affects every dog handler but rarely gets spoken about with any honesty. The seasonal shifts. What they do to us, what they do to our dogs, and how to actually train well when everything feels really horrible and really different. This will be a slower, deeper episode, so settle in, walk with me, drive with me, hide in the loo from the kids if you must. Wherever you are, I'm glad you're here. So let's start by saying this. Human beings are seasonal creatures too. Dogs too. We're not built for year-round consistency, even though modern life pretends we are. I grew up in a small holding. I watched the way everything shifted with the weather. My dad never expected the same from the dogs in November as he did in April. He'd look out across the field, sniff the air like he could read it, and say things like, "They'll be a bit livelier today," or "Keep them close, the ground is going to hold scent." It wasn't mystical. It was absolute awareness. He'd lived on the land long enough to know exactly what to expect from it, what to expect from different weathers, and a lot of this comes with time and access to environments. And for most of us, a big field, a small holding, the ability to take our dogs out where there is scent on the ground every day is not something that we have. And we have to work with that. So many women I talk to now feel guilty when their dog behaves differently in winter. They feel guilty when they behave differently in winter. They're guilty when their own energy dips, guilty when motivation disappears under a pile of soggy towels by the front door and dark mornings when you really don't want to go outside with them, or so many storms we don't know what to do with them. But here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your dog. The season has changed and you're allowed to change with it. Last week I sent out a newsletter with some things that can help you through all this. They're things from a sun lamp that can help you when you just need to get that sort of vitamin D top up for yourself. Things like portable showers for our dogs to wash the mud off, which, let's be honest, I don't know where you're living right now, but where we are, it's about 3 inches thick on a good day. And all this stuff makes taking our dogs out really feel like something we do not want to do. Why would you want to put on a really heavy waterproof jacket, waterproof trousers, put the dog in the back, knowing in 5 minutes' time it is going to look a different colour? Why would you want to take it out when it's hard to see them because you're having to hold your hood down so far over your face? You don't exactly know where they've gone in the field. Why would you want to put them back in your car, in their box, knowing the box will be soaking? Your car is going to smell ridiculous tomorrow. All those things really, really do put us off. But let's talk about what winter actually does for dogs. Cold air carries scent differently. This means your dog might suddenly lock onto smells like an absolute truffle pig on a mission because the scent is so strong on the ground for them. It's not them being disobedient, it's just physics. They're getting to smell things in a far stronger way than they might have in the summer. The darkness increases the dog's alertness too. It does it for us. We're always a little bit suspicious of a evening or a morning where the sun's not really up or the cloud cover's really thick. We're very more conscious of what's going on around us because it's not the environment we spend most of our time in. In low light, dogs rely more heavily on hearing scent. You might see them scanning, a little bit more pulling, more like, what's that going on? Because they're trying to work it all out too. Wildlife can be closer and it can be noisier. Rabbits, pheasants, deers, voles, winter shifts their patterns too. Dogs pick up on that instantly when we take them outside. A dog's arousal level will rise faster. Cold snaps the body awake. Dogs get bright, fast, sometimes a little bit fizzy. Because they are feeling everything that we feel, except we didn't, in most instances, put a load of waterproofs on them. So if your dog is feeling different this winter, it's because they are different in the winter. They're not aggressing, they're not going backwards, they're just seasonally adjusting just like we do. And when we understand that, we stop panicking, start handling with a little bit more steadiness. So what does winter do for us? Well, it doesn't always make us feel the best, does it? We're tired earlier, Like, how many times have you said in this week, the last 2 weeks, oh my God, I can't believe it's only 5 p.m. because it feels like it's 10 p.m. outside. I was watching something on the news about whether clocks should go back or should go forward anymore. You know, that was something that was put in place for the farmer. I didn't know until I watched this video program that in 1960s we got away with that, but in 1970s we brought it back because children had to walk to school in the dark. And this seasonal disruption isn't always the best for us. Your brain wants warmth and comfort. It looks for it in its food. It looks for it in the rooms. If you walk into a room when it's a little bit chilly, you'll instantly pop in the heating app because you know your body doesn't like that situation. Your motivation takes a massive dip because sunlight is doing what sunlight does at this time of year. It's absolutely disappearing. And I don't know where you are in the world right now, but we've been blessed this summer with a really nice summer. We've had loads and loads of light, loads of clear skies, loads of sunshine. So this winter is feeling a little bit like a kick in the backside. Yet you still expect yourself to train like it's summer. We forget that women are seasonal animals too. Shorter days, colder mornings, busier evenings, family responsibilities growing towards Christmas. You're carrying more than you notice. We have so much on our plates right now, and we know it's only going to ramp up as the weeks go on, the days go on towards the 25th. So of course training feels heavier. Of course trainings feel shorter. Of course some days you think, not today. And that's absolutely okay. You're not lazy. You're living in winter. Now here's the part I love about winter. Winter will give us something the summer never does. This is the time for us to train for this season. It's the time for us to get used to calm work, to connecting, to getting our dogs to settle in this different season. We can do all the stuff we did before, like loose lead walking, heel work, off lead walking, dummy retrieves. We just do it in a different way. Our sessions can be shorter, but still be just as impactful. And that's something that's fun and something for us to get used to. Many of our dogs are flat out on a shoot somewhere. The season is going on, they're doing their job that we've trained all year for, and that's a really lovely part of this season too. We get to see the fruits of our labour. When everything around us slows, small things will matter more, because you know they're more aware, because you know that the time out in the field means something and has to be done quickly with efficiency. We work with a different type of determination. I always believe that winter work builds the handler more than it'll build the dog, because we are the ones that have to go out there and get it done. We are the ones that have to leave our cosy homes, our log fires, our hot chocolate, our families watching some great film, and go out and do what we want to do with the dog in front of us. Winter asks us to be present in a way that maybe summer doesn't. Summer makes us relax, to enjoy, to have long hours out and know there's no rush to get home. Winter does not allow us that freedom, and therefore it's important for us that we make sure that the time we're out is time that matters. Winter encourages tiny wins. It wants us to succeed shortly, sharply, so that we can get back home to all the things that we love that's indoors. And that's why your training will actually change. It's really important not to see this as a time of stress, but a time of learning, when you learn to train a different way. Used wisely, this winter could be used to teach you how to train in short sessions. And that's something a lot of you would like to have for those summer days where we can't stroll around quietly and we have other things to do, like getting to work, taking the kids places, going to see family members. Summer deludes us into thinking we have all the time in the world, which sometimes makes it just as hard to train our dogs as the winter is. There was a member who said to me last year they were ready to give up. Her spaniel was wild on cold mornings, reactive in the dark, and she felt like she'd done months of work that she'd done all summer. But our team looked at her plan and realised that she just needed to grasp hold of short sessions. A 10-minute session, lead on, loose lead walk to wherever you're going, memory retrieves, little bits. We've all seen them. We see them on social media. little clips where people doing 3 minutes what we think is going to take 30, but it doesn't. Once implementing things like this, you won't even realise how much progress you're going to make until February, until the evenings start getting a little bit longer and the light stays with us a little bit more time. That's winter work. It'll creep up on us and suddenly the dog in front of you is steady because you're steady. Another lady that I spoke to was talking to me about the area she lived in got a lot of fog, and that meant that she couldn't always see where the dog was. Fog holds scent like a blanket too, and that can be confusing when you're doing the work. Learning how the clear air in the winter, or the foggy air in the winter, or the winds come in from different ways and how to work with wind, they're all things that you will get this winter if you work with it. When we fight the season, it's going to feel heavier. The best thing you can do this year is not fight it at all. So let's talk about how to train with winter and not against it. Here are the simplest ways to work with the season. Keep sessions short. 5 to 10 minutes is more than enough. Choose your environment wisely. Woods, tracks, quiet fields, less pressure, more progress. Find the place that suits the season and then work with that. Focus on your foundation skills. We talk about this all the time. Your spring, your summer, next winter is built on a foundation that you put in place right now. Work on your heel work on your recall, work on settle, work on focus, work on boundaries and your bubble. If you're one of our members, you know how to do all this. All the training for all these things is inside your study hub. Lower your expectations this season and raise your awareness. Ask, what does the dog need today instead of what can we achieve today? If you can see that the weather, the environment is against you, don't ask so much of the dog. And as we always tell everyone, celebrate the small wins. The sit that lands, the recall that works, the lead that you've noticed is now loose and not tugging at the front end anymore. This is all the stuff you can put down as being winter gold. So before we wrap up, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you stopped trying to push through the winter to get to the spring in this big sprint. Imagine you trained with winter's pace, slow, steady, short. Imagine you let yourself and your dog adjust without the guilt. Okay, you don't make it out today. It's not the end of the world. What would shift for you if you did winter this way? What would happen this week, this month, or even this entire season? Hold that question in your pocket. Think to yourself, what can I get done today, and what I can't get done doesn't really matter. For our members, in 2 weeks' time, our experts will be doing a special Ask Us Anything, where we're going to be talking about so you thought your dog was ready for the season. People who've trained all summer, got to the winter, thought they were prepared, and the dogs taught them something completely different. It's going to be a really good, really informative session. And I'm sure some of the things that we will draw from that are some of the things we've spoke about this morning. So I hope this short podcast with just me has been informative. And I hope it's taken a little bit of that pressure away when you're looking out of the window as Storm Claudia rolls into the UK and think, oh my God, I don't know if I can go out there again, to get soaking wet again, to go through all this again. Take on board some of these ideas and make the season work for you. If this episode helped you breathe a little easier, share it with another woman who's feeling the winter wobble. And if you want support that actually matches real life, you're always welcome inside the LWDG, where we train real dogs with real women who get what real life's all about. For those of you wanting to know more about who you are as a handler and how that affects your dog, join us for our free live masterclass Tuesday 18th of November, 7 o'clock UK time, where you will learn how to turn mixed signals into calm, confident results for both you and your dog. We're literally going to be talking about why the way we train is key to our dog's progress. So if you ever felt like your dog's not quite getting what you're asking, like one moment training clicks and the next is madness, it's not just about the dog, it's about the way you show up when you train the dog. In this free live session, myself and mindset coach Emma Liddell will help you uncover your natural dog training style, the patterns, beliefs and instincts you bring to every session, whether you realise it or not. When you understand that, everything changes. We'll see you all next week, and we'll see you in a fortnight's time for the next episode of Found It, Fetched It.